Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about it with Yuri. It's been a hard day. It's been a few days because I'm sure people want to know how I got to the point where I am. And it took some digging. A lot of trying to remember out memories that were blocked out. And this is part 2 of the series about me and how I arrived to the space where I am today. Sorry, it's a little dark outside. But, yeah, so my first memory from childhood is, you can't really see it there, but I have a little divot in my head from being 2 years old, sitting in the back seat of my dad's car, and him being such an overly jealous man, accused my mom of sleeping with her own brother because she was out late the night before, and they used to be dance partners. They used to go into clubs and enter dance contests, and they would win most of the time. But my dad is so outrageously jealous that he accused her of sleeping with her own brother. And I guess that enraged him enough to want to try and take her life. And so he tried to stab her, and she jumped in the back seat with me, and he ended up stabbing me in the forehead. So, not so great a memory. But my next memory goes to a house that we had, which I pretty much blocked out what happened, but my dad used to be in the film industry, and after his, I believe, second movie, we moved into a 2-story house. I believe it was 46th and Main, and I have a recurring memory that I keep having a vision of someone locking me in the closet on the upper floor of this house. And I always end up waking up before I could see who's doing that. I don't know who it was. I don't know the reason for it. So, yeah, there's that. And then my next memory goes to someone touching me as a child. I think, or I believe I was about 5 years old. And there was a lady who used to live down the street with my grandmother. Really nice lady. We pretty much grew up with these people, and her son was a teenager at the time, and she would always call my cousins and my sisters and brothers down and give us fruit for a snack. Well, one day I guess she had an appointment or something, and I decided to take it upon myself and walk down to the house and see if she was there. She wasn't, but her son was there. And that's the first memory I have of being touched by someone. And then there were a couple of friends of my uncle's that had also touched me. And then from there, the first man that my mom got with after she and my dad had separated. And it just goes on from there. There's been a couple of ministers and a minister's wife of one of the ministers, which I thought she was saving me, but basically she wanted to save me for herself, apparently. And yeah, we told people. It's not to say that we didn't tell anybody, but we were always told that we were lying and go outside and play and stop telling those lies. Nobody ever listened to us, which brings me to the point that, okay, maybe they experienced some of this kind of trauma when they were kids, and they were always told this, but it was passed down to us. And then there's another of an uncle-in-law that used to pretend, oh, I'm going to take the girls to LAX to watch the planes take off. And it was always me and the cousin whose mother he was married to. And I don't know about her. That's her story to tell. But I know when I was taken out of the car, and we were always taken out individually, and I never understood that. You know, he touched me up until I was 16 years old, and I ended up staying with said aunt. And, you know, the man had his hand out in the seat when I sat back in the car coming from the store, and I just got up and smacked him and I walked home. So when I walked to the door, he's on the phone with my mother before I could call her and tell her what happened. Cell phones didn't exist back then. And, you know, he's telling her I'm being disrespectful and I just hit him in the face and this, that, and the third. And my mother knows that she didn't raise me to be a disrespectful child. I had never disrespected anybody before. And, you know, it didn't really do any good. She still did nothing about it. I was still there for a number of years until one day my aunt wanted to hit me just because I didn't give her a phone message. Excuse the noise, guys. I am outside filming. And, you know, I just thought it was excessive. You're going to beat me with a broom handle because I didn't give you a simple message? It was ridiculous. So I ran away from there, ended up back with my mother. And then maybe 2 weeks in, I get introduced to a guy that was a friend of my sister's. And, you know, I thought we were just friends and hanging out or whatever. And the guy tried to rape me. You know, he caught a nice slice across the penis with a straight razor. And I honestly don't remember what happened after that. But I was able to escape that one. And my memories are just so broken up. So, you know, I'm telling you guys this as I can remember it, but there was a lot more. You know, and I was always taken advantage of because I was the quiet child. And it's like I wore a badge or something that said, oh, she won't tell anybody, because it just kept happening, you know. And I ended up moving with my aunt, one of my aunts, for a spell. And same thing happened in her house. And this was the first time at 9 years old that I was penetrated by this man. And it was horrible. And I think what the problem is, I never dealt with the trauma. I never told anybody about it. I started talking about it with my girlfriends, and that gave me some relief, but I never dealt with the pain and the trauma of it. And that's one of the reasons why I am the way I am today. So, what can I say? It's emotionally hard for me. I was taking notes earlier and I had to stop because things started to get a bit deep and I kind of broke down at work. So just stay tuned for part 3 because there is definitely more to come. And like, share, and subscribe. I don't know if this will help anybody out there, but like I said, right now this is therapy for me because I've never been able to talk to anyone face to face. And though I'm not face to face with you guys, I do thank you for listening and tuning in. Until the next video, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the all notifications bell and stay tuned for part 3. Thank you. Have a blessed Sunday.